Welcome back, guys. I'm Leo McCarthy, spiritual mentor, psychic and medium, Reiki Master, EFT Tapping practitioner, and Shaman. What I want to talk today about is understanding why we don't ask for help. So, in my work with individuals, the biggest thing that has come up is two reasons why we don't ask for help. One of them is we don't want to be judged. And the other is we don't want to be a burden to someone else. So why don't we ask for help? We don't want to be judged and we don't want to be a burden. I want to talk a little bit about judgment and maybe the expectation or the perceived expectation rather that we might be judged by someone else. The fear of judgment is a fear. And maybe we grew up being criticized. And maybe we asked for help at one time or another. And the person that helped us, all they did was either complain or they didn't allow you to do something a certain way, or they had a better way to do something than how you wanted to do it. And so it was really uncomfortable and stressful with having maybe that individual help you. And so there's like an insecurity in us that comes from these situations of either being criticized or not having a good experience with getting help from someone in the past. And so if you haven't watched it yet, I did a video recently on understanding criticism and how it affects us. And after this, take some time and listen to that to understand how criticism affects us. And so we don't want to ask for help because we don't want to be judged. And we perceive if we get judgment or criticism from someone, it's kind of telling us that either we don't know what we're doing, we're failing, and a deep wound that kind of scars us and leaves a mark of not being good enough to either, do it on our own, or there's a wound where there was power taken from us at one point and we feel like our power is limited, and it triggers us to feel that we're not powerful enough, we're not capable of enough of doing something on our own, and we don't want the judgment and we don't want the reminder of feeling like we're not capable or good enough. The other thing that I brought up is we don't want to feel a burden to someone else. And, I brought up about getting help from someone else and maybe they complained the whole time, or the way we wanted to do something wasn't what they thought the best way was to do it. And we took that as asking for their help was sort of an inconvenience to them. And we were made to feel that maybe they would rather be doing something else than helping us. And it brings up that wound of not feeling good enough or feeling deserving of asking for help from someone or getting someone's help. And so it makes us feel like we're doing something wrong and we're making someone else's life more difficult. hence feeling like a burden. And so really, we can choose, to get help from someone else other than maybe that person that complained the whole time when they helped us previously. But we have to do the inner work to empower ourselves to be strong enough to actually ask for help in the first place and not look at asking for help as a weakness. And maybe changing that perception of weakness to feeling maybe it's actually asking for help is a way to get something done maybe more efficiently or faster. And so if we can look at it that way, it's actually really a strength, and it's actually a smart and intelligent decision. And, maybe some things that we are not the best at doing, maybe someone that we ask for help with, whatever we need help with doing, maybe they're really good at something that we're not so great at. But that wound keeps popping up when we have someone in mind that we want to ask for help with something that maybe they're better at doing and we struggle with. And the thought of asking them for help, again, that little trigger from that wound of not being good enough or not being capable enough pops up. And so I've mentioned before in some of the previous videos of doing some of the inner work to work through some of these limiting beliefs that are created out of these wounds of not being good enough, not being deserving enough, not deserving love, etc. That some of these modalities could be, but not including, could be Reiki, could be hypnotherapy, could be breath work, could be meditation, could be shamanic work, could be somatic release work. There's so many modalities out there that are ready to explore, but we also have to be ready to do the work. And another video that I recorded that I really highly recommend watching is the video about, are we ready to heal? Because unless we're ready to heal, we're not going to be able to get the work done to move beyond the limiting beliefs and blocks that are keeping us from asking for help. And we have to really perceive asking for help as a strength. So we have to reframe the old narrative of asking for help as a weakness to looking at it in a new way, that it's actually a strength, and it requires a little bit of courage to move beyond the fear that's coming up from the limiting beliefs and the old wounds that we have, that we're able to now be able to ask for help and maybe get things done quicker, faster, more efficiently. And if we can do that, this also, a byproduct of being able to do that, will also affect our identity, because people will look at us as a person that either gets things done, they can make things happen, because you're a person that is very resourceful, that can take advantage of not only your own capabilities, but bringing in other people to help to actually get things done. And so I'm hoping that listening to this helps you process maybe what is in the way of asking for help, and maybe looking at asking for help as a strength now as opposed to being a weakness. So don't forget, as I reminded you in this video, listen to the video that I recorded of understanding criticism and how it affects us, and also, are we ready to heal? So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll talk soon.